Good evening, church family. So glad to see y'all here tonight. We are in John chapter 4. John chapter 4. Now, John chapter 4 is one of my favorite stories in the Bible. Jesus, with his disciples, tagging along, separated from him, enters Samaria. Samaria. Now, some background, why is that such a big deal? Samaria was the mixed breeds, the half-breeds, the undesirable people to the Jewish nation. Oftentimes, when you look at a map, you would have southern Israel and portions of northern Israel, and right in between it is Samaria, where all the mixed breeds lived. They despised Samaritans so much that they would go miles and miles out of the way just to not step foot in Samaria. But Jesus, what does Jesus do early on in his ministry in John chapter 4? He walks right up into Samaria. Isn't it beautiful to see that Jesus is not prejudiced? Jesus doesn't hold one skin color above another, one nationality above another. The ground is level, even at the cross with Christ. He is not a respecter of persons. We should be the same way. Not only does Jesus go to Samaria, he talks to a woman. A woman. Now, you're like, okay, like, well, what's the big deal about that? Back then, it was rare for a guy, for a man to go out of his way to speak to a woman. It was not common. It was not usual or typical. So for Jesus, a master, a teacher, a rabbi, to go to this Samaritan woman and have a conversation with her was, out of the norm. It shocked her. She said, well, I can tell you're a Jew. What do you have to do with me? So they begin a conversation. Now, very early in the conversation, you can see that she does have spiritual interest and spiritual history. But there's something in the way. Her sin, her sexual immorality, her adultery, to be specific, was hindering her from coming to the Messiah. And Jesus hit the nail on the head when he said, he asked her, hey, go get your husband and then I'll give you this living water. And she said, well, I don't have a husband. Jesus is like, oh, you're right. Because you've had 5 husbands, and the guy that you're with, the guy who's at your house right now, is not your husband. So she perceives that this guy is a prophet. You must be the Messiah. She ran and told the whole town. Scores of people came to Christ because of this woman's testimony. Jesus forgave her of her sin. She confessed and made it right. What a beautiful story. When his disciples showed up, they're saying, well, what is Jesus doing talking to these people? And when they said, hey, Jesus, it's time to eat. It's time to get some food. Jesus says, guys, I have food to eat that you do not know of. Spiritual food is more fulfilling than a burger, than some fried chicken. I am feeding God's people. So they quarrel amongst themselves. Did somebody else bring him some food? Did he get food from somewhere else? No. He was doing the spiritual work. The spiritual work of seeing lives changed. How about you and me? Do you want to participate in that together and seeing lives transformed by the gospel? Jesus used mercy and truth when he was reaching people. And let's do the same. Just some lessons from John chapter 4. Join us tomorrow night as we dive back into Psalms 119.